What is up? Good morning, everybody. Very early live stream today, mainly because we got some stuff to do. Um, it's even earlier because the time switch. Was anybody ready for that? Because I wasn't. Did the time switch hit you hard, Danny, or are you ready for it?
I was ready for. I went to bed knowing that it was happening, so I knew I was losing sleep, so it was fine.
Dude, for me, I knew it was happening, but when I woke up, I was like, "It's 10?" That's literally what I said. My girlfriend woke me up, and I was like, "What the hell? What is the? We lost an hour of sleep. I think that's what everybody was saying. I still
Yeah,
slept good. It was just, yeah. I was like, my gosh, it's already 10. Like right now, it should be 10:26, not 11:26. But good morning, everybody. What's up, Hula Mama? Happy Sunday. Thankfully, beautiful Sunday out there with the weather. We've had a lot of rain, and it's been very cold out there. What's up, Lonnie? How you doing? Good morning. What's up, Ed? Let's go, Benji. Jessica Fernandez. Smash that like button, everybody. Smash that like button. I had
and
a
I,
chance. Are we gonna say that?
I was just gonna say, for those in the chat that have been to Knott's Berry Farm's Boysenberry Festival, since it's only had a couple days and both of which have been pretty rainy, put some boysenberries in the chat if you've been to the Boysenberry festivals, because we'll talk about that later. Because I haven't had a chance to go yet because of the rain, so we wanted to kind of see what people's opinions were who've been.
Yeah, who's been? Because that is true. It's been hard. Even Disneyland had to close early 2 days, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see. We got Darnell Wright. She says, would love some Knott's Berry Farm Festival updates. We will be there soon. Haven't been there yet. The day I was supposed to go was Friday, but it just rained out. Kimberly Moore says they should send out surveys to guests, getting a vote about retheming rides and attractions, not being pressured into changing things because of a few sensitive people. Do you think that could work to get feedback in regards to like ride changes or maybe as crazy as it sounds, new lands? Do you think Disney would go the route of doing a feedback survey? Because they don't really do surveys anymore. I feel like they just kind of went away from that.
Yeah, I feel like during the pandemic and after the layoffs, right, where they laid off a bunch of people, I feel like one thing we don't see anymore is the survey people. I mean, we still get surveys, right? Like at random via email, but like we don't see
very rare though.
Yeah, we don't see the people with those like targeted surveys.
Yeah, I think they should survey. And if they don't want to survey Magic Key holders, survey the hotel guest. You know, get their opinion. They're the ones that matter, right? Disneyland cares about them the most. I'd be curious. The first survey that should go out is: would you like to see a lightsaber battle in Galaxy's Edge? I think we all know the answer to that one, but I guess Disneyland doesn't. Big Avocado says a rewind of Princess Night and upcoming After Dark events. Great topic. Everybody's heard my opinion. I want to know from an outside perspective, how did this Princess Night come off to you guys in the chat? I want to ask Danny. Danny's been through a lot of After Dark events, and he did not go to Princess Night. But how did it look from an outside perspective, Danny?
From an outside perspective, it definitely wasn't a party that I would be interested in, but I'm not saying it wasn't a good party. I just think that Disneyland started with a few of these After Dark events that were themed. I don't know if it was born out of, the necessity from Disney World doing like Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party and Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party. And we only were ever doing Mickey's Halloween Party, which was at Disneyland prior to Oogie Boogie Bash. But then, Disneyland started doing all these other themed after dark events like 90s night. Then they had an 80s night. They had throwback night back in 2018. So we saw all these after dark events, but I don't know the reasoning for them. I feel like the after dark events that Walt Disney World has, I feel like is really kind of all we should be having at this point. Maybe they just thought that guests here wouldn't buy those as much as the ones we've had because they have themes and we need to have a theme in order to want to spend money on it. But to me, unless those themed nights are bringing some fire and bringing something new each time, with the exception of holiday events like Oogie Boogie Bash or like some sort of Christmas party, I don't really feel like the need to go to it. Throwback night, from all the videos that I saw from other, influencers that had gone in 2018, it looked really boring. It didn't look very good. So I'm sure they might improve on a lot of things, but the food offerings didn't look good. The entertainment offerings and photo ops didn't look all that good. And as far as Princess Night, to me, it looked. The only cool thing was like Princess Leia, but she had a 3-hour wait. The whole horn entry like thing at the beginning where the train station was with Daisy and Minnie, that was ended up being way different than I thought it was going to be based on the description. I thought they were going to announce guests as they were walking in, or that chose to be announced when they were walking in, kind of like the way you do in a cruise.
Dude, that would have solved that. Where
well, that's how they announced it. Yeah.
Danny from Arendelle, and then you walk through, and then like do like 10 guests. I would have been like, that's cool.
Yeah, I mean,
it just got announced into Disneyland. Like, that's amazing.
And that's really how it sounded in the description. I wasn't the only one that thought that. My former co-host David Vaughn, he thought the same thing when we were first talking about that on the podcast. He thought that they were going to announce guests as they were walking in too. And obviously they can't announce every single guest that's walking in, but they were thinking there'd be some sort of like opt-in thing, kind of how it was for like the costume parade during Star Wars night. You kind of opt into it, and check in with the people. So that would have been kind of cool. They could have picked like guests that were really dressed up, right? That were like really themed.
I feel like people did go hard on the cosplay, the Disney bounds, looking like a princess. People really dressed up for this specific event. They went all out.
Yeah, so for me, I don't know. Like, I think I'm after darked out. Like Mom said,
I'm so after darked out. It's not even funny. Like I have 2 more tickets to Throwback Night, Star Wars Night. I'm really contemplating just selling them for whatever I paid for. I don't care to make money on it. I just want to get my money back and get out. I'm after darked out. I just and I'm really contemplating even Oogie Boogie Bash. If it wasn't for Ernesto, to me it was like, I've seen this, done this. Not that it's not great or fun. I've just done it already. And to me, on the other side of the theme parks, I could go to Halloween Horror Nights, which is usually all new. I don't know.
I think the big takeaway here is that the After Dark events themselves are not bad, right? Especially for guests that are on vacation. Like, what a great way to have a themed night during your trip.
Totally.
Or getting like access to attractions with lower wait times than you would experience during the day, and also more importantly, not having Lightning Lane enabled on those attractions, which is nice because it makes the lines shorter.
I didn't even think of it that way, Danny. Just having this non-Lightning Lane day, all rides are amazing.
Yeah, exactly. So I was just gonna say that in of itself makes the events good, but as far as like a magic key holder or a guest that goes to Disneyland regularly, I don't really see a way for me to recommend that people continue to do it over and over again, with maybe the exception of Oogie Boogie Bash, right? Because like,
or 80s and 90s. That's
where people like to get dressed up, right? They want to get candy for the kids, so like there's a draw for Oogie Boogie Bash every season. But like consistently going to Star Wars night, like if they're not gonna, like, I can only watch the March of Captain Phasma like so many times before it's the same thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there's nothing new there. Like, and there's so much with Star Wars. Like, bring new things. If you're gonna do a Star Wars night every single night, you know what I mean?
I
So
agree. I totally agree. I closed the screen. Give me a second. There we go. All right, are we back? Oh my gosh, I'm
what did you do?
struggling. It's too early. Man, okay, we're back. We're back. Oh, it's too early, man. It's too early. I do want to say though, Vanessa, thank you so much. I don't usually chat on here, but I do Ninja Watch. Thank you. I appreciate for 4 months of membership. And also too, where are we at? Hold on, hold on. Where am I at? I'm trying to catch up in the chat. Maria Anna. 557 months of membership. Let's go. Says hi, Monjo and Danny. I'm going to Star Wars Night for the first time this year. Any tips on how to have a great time? I'm not too crazy about photo ops. All right, if you're going for the first time, Star Wars Night is incredible. It's an amazing experience from beginning to end because there is a lot that gets offered for Star Wars Night.
Yeah.
If you're not into photo ops, at least go check them out. You know, you don't have to take a photo with the characters, but it's cool to visually see the characters from like the Darth Vader, Palpatine, Darth Maul, Ahsoka if she goes on the second floor of Launch Bay. The other cool part is there's fireworks involved in Star Wars Night. For me personally, if you're at like Coke Corner, that's a great spot. You don't have to be in front of the castle. Coke Corner, right there on Main Street. You're not going to have to do this crazy long extended wait to find a good spot. The fireworks are probably the highlight of Star Wars Night. Anything else on Star Wars Night that's like a can't miss that you need
Yeah,
to
I feel like Maria just needs to ask herself like what's important to her. Unfortunately, character meet and greets and photo ops are really the main draw for these events in all reality. Sure, there's some special food items, and like Mondo said, there's the fireworks show. But with that aside, Star Wars Night, there's not really a lot going on. They have really cool projections on all the buildings on Main Street that make it look like you're, in the light speed tunnel. But they didn't have Star Wars music playing like we thought they were going to have. That was a huge missed opportunity that Mondo and I were saying. They should have had the music blasting on Main Street with all that light speed, stuff. There was zero music on Main Street. I don't know if that was just an error that they had. The only place that was blaring music for like no apparent reason was the stage that was set up for the lightsaber training over by It's a Small World. And there was like nothing going on, but they were just blasting Star Wars music over there.
And Small World had the same projections as Main Street, like the
Yeah.
to the stars.
Yeah, so Maria, if you're just looking to go to the park fully dressed up, maybe get some specialty food items and watch the fireworks, then those are probably all the things you need to prioritize. But if you're not interested in the photo ops and the character meet and greets, I would ask myself, why are you going to Star Wars Night in all reality? Because like that's the whole purpose of the event. So
maybe she wants to cosplay or something.
yeah, I say if you're just into
yeah.
cosplay, maybe that's it. But
I think after dark events, cosplay is a big factor because many people go dressed up and they take photos with other cosplayers. So it's kind of like that. It's like a really fun part of that community that like you get to, because there was a lot of Princess Leia's that quite frankly looked just as amazing or more amazing than Princess Leia. Like I was like, whoa, it was like 4 Princess Leia's in line. Like it was crazy, dude. Look, the Disney boundaries, like they do great jobs on.
Yeah, I feel like Mondo said, even if you're not interested in the photo ops, you should at least go seek them out because they look pretty cool. Especially like the Book of Boba Fett one they had set up.
Yeah,
and even like the upside down
Grogu. They had like a Grogu one. Remember?
Yeah, but like they have the Hoth, the Planet Hoth one over by the Disneyland Theater. Like that was pretty cool.
My best tip, even though you don't want to do photo ops, if you show up an hour and a half early, they let you do almost every photo op with little to no wait. They open up those photo ops way early in advance, and you don't have to. You have to take a photo with probably your phone because they don't have like photo pass photographers yet. But you could knock out like 80% of those photo ops before the event even starts. That would be
Yeah.
my best tip because we did that, and I was like, wow, we like did like everything. Now we just have to do the character Jawas and whatever else was out there. But for me, I'm just after darked out. I just kind of just don't care now. Like I'm not missing out on nothing. The only thing I missed out on was 2 hour waits at the Royal Hall, 2 hour wait for Princess Leia meet and greet. The Enchanted Cavalcade was just a 10-second thing. The Minnie Mouse Daisy thing at Princess Night, them like introduction was like 40 seconds. You know, I don't know. I just feel like as time has gone on, I'm not missing out on anything. We got a super chat. Once again, thank you everybody for joining us on this early live stream. Good morning. I just want to say good morning. We have JJ Diaz. Hi, Mondo. Danny, been following you guys for years. Thank you. Seriously, thank you, man. Just found out how to be a member. Thanks for everything you guys do. Fired up! Woo! Hell yeah.
New member.
I'm fired. Let me hit that new member. Thank you, JJ Diaz. What's up, Orca? He says, fire up them likes. People that vacation normally plan their trips far in advance, so announcing after dark events 1 month before doesn't even work. Wrong button, but yep, that made the point across. As a pass holder, I was bummed to see Star Wars Night was sold out because I didn't even know when they went on sale. When did Disney announce when these tickets will be available for this event? So that's what I'm saying. Okay, I can't emphasize this enough. As a pass member, like I feel like for the most part, a lot of us pass or Magic Key holders, we're in the know of what's happening with Disney, and I really feel like these after dark events are kind of catered to the non-Magic Key holder. But how are they supposed to know that any of these tickets went for sale? These events are available. They don't know anything. Like, what? There was a Star Wars night? So that's why, like, I find that weird medium of, like, who are these events for? You know? I don't know. They went on sale like a month ago, James. They went on sale like a month ago.
Yeah, in all reality, if you're not following Disneyland on Twitter or the Disney Parks blog with any regularity, like looking at it consistently, you really wouldn't have found out because that's kind of how they announced it, right? They announced it on all their social medias. So if you're not like checking their social medias regularly, like, you know, I think the only reason why we knew right away, right, is because, you know, we make it our job to always look at that stuff.
Yeah, Disney Parks blogs, the Scott Gustin post. For the most part, like, even then, there was probably a week notice before the tickets went on sale. Maybe even less than a week notice. Like, I don't know. It's weird. Like, we've all been waiting for the Star Wars Night tickets to go on sale. And I felt like I waited so long, I just bought it. And I'm not motivated, dude. I'm not motivated. BB Box Brit says, photo ops are so hard because they take so many breaks. Makes the waits longer. Yeah, I'm not going to tell this story, but yes. Yeah, the breaks, the way that Princess Night went, the character came out, did the meet and greet, and then took 30-minute breaks. That's what everybody kept telling me, 30-minute breaks. And they didn't, like say it was one princess, they didn't switch it out with another princess. So if you're just waiting in line and you already waited 45 minutes and you're almost there, you got to wait 30 more minutes for her to come back to then start the meet and greet process again. I really feel like in after dark events, since they're so limited at 4 hours usually, they got to have it where one character switch outs with another character to keep it going.
Yeah.
And I still believe, Danny, that they need to incorporate with some, I'm not saying all, with some, to ease these lines, the Oogie Boogie process where you have them on like a nice backdrop and they're all like on the stage. So it's not necessarily like only one person meets the character. It could be multiple and him or her like interacting with everybody, you know? I really feel like the Oogie Boogie process needs to be brought into all the After Dark events. I don't know how people feel about me saying that, but I really believe it would help out a lot. Like if Princess Leia had a beautiful backdrop and then just interacting with everybody, all like 10 people at the same time, like I feel like it'd be great. Because because for the most part, Danny, you kind of want to just say hi, get a quick photo, and move on with your day. You know, you're not there to have this 5 minute discussion with the character. And for Princess Leia, it was like 2 to 3 hours. So kind of crazy. These
I
after
mean, maybe they go back to the Oogie Boogie style where like the characters are on a stage and the guests aren't completely interacting with them. They're still getting their photos. They're still having small interactions, but they're not taking up like 5 to 6 minutes per person with each interaction. So it gives more opportunity to people to be able to, get a photo or at least chat really quickly with the character as they kind of walk by or whatnot.
yeah.
I feel like Oogie Boogie Bash really excels in that area. It really gives you the opportunity to kind of see and meet everyone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I did the math with like 15,000 guests. Disneyland on tickets makes like 2 million plus dollars in 4 hours. That's not even considering the merchandise you're gonna buy, the food, the parking you had to pay. These after dark events are money makers. And that's on top of the day sales they had before when everybody was in the regular theme park hour. So I get why Disneyland does these after dark events. I think one thing to say, if there's only two after dark events, it's a sign of warning that maybe Disneyland's not going as hard as you would want them to because it's only 2 days. Anytime an after dark event is like 4 or 5 days, Disneyland put a lot of effort in. But when it's a 2 day event, I feel like it just hasn't been that good. All right, let's keep it going. We got another question from our members. Let's talk a little bit about Toontown. I'm really curious about Walt's tree because it looks smaller than I imagined it being. Danny, what is going on with Walt's tree? Does it exist? I did a live stream yesterday. I'll bring it up so we could like visually show it. Do you think it's coming, or that tree with the stuff hanging from it? That's the Walt tree. What do you think, Daddy?
I don't know. That's what I can't figure out. I really can't figure it out. And I guess we won't find out until next weekend if the land still opens on time, right? It's still been plagued with lots of bad weather between now and when they delayed it. So Rudio was saying maybe we see even another delay, which would be interesting. But yeah, it wasn't the tree I thought, right? I thought it was going to be a fake tree, kind of like the one at Animal Kingdom, because it had those weird roots coming out of the ground. But maybe they're just using like that real tree, and then they're going to like make fake roots for it that come out of the ground that look like they're coming from the tree, but not really. So maybe that is the tree, and then they're just doing because that's a real tree. So maybe, and they said there was going to be like lighting effects in the tree for the fountain moment. So maybe those lights are what's going to be there. I don't know. Um, there's some sort of something going on it. They did say the fountain and the tree would come to life at night in like a musical kind of little moment regularly in the evening. So I thought we were gonna have like Animal Kingdom style with like projections in the tree. So did Mondo, but like
Dude, so did
this,
everybody. It's
this
not
is
just
like,
us. Like,
and it's like the lanterns there. They all, if you go back to the lanterns, you can tell like they have character theme colors. So like Daisy, Goofy with the yellow, or Pluto right there with the green and the yellow. Goofy with the orange, Mickey with the red and the yellow. So like they're character themed. So it makes sense, but it just seems weird, I guess, with the way.
dude, there's a big discrepancy between that tree and that tree. like, I feel like maybe it hasn't arrived, Danny. Even though the grand opening is Sunday. Maybe it is like a fake tree that's like a how do I say it? It's just like a prop that they could just install in one day. Like it's done. It's already done. It's just in a lot somewhere or in storage. They just have to put it in there and
Yeah,
prop it.
because if you see the on the artwork, there's like those roots that come out of the ground, and like people are like kids can climb on them. Like that's kind of one of the reasons, it's like there for kids to kind of interact with and stuff. So, but like those are clearly fake, right? And even like the hole, they have like a hole in the tree. Like trees don't regularly have those holes typically.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, it's something that we see in a lot of cartoons like Winnie the Pooh and all that stuff. So it's definitely a little like fairy tale-istic of a tree. So, and that tree just looks like the tree in Goofy's backyard that was always there.
Yeah, we got a super chat. Hot fires, Brian. Why doesn't Disney open after dark meet and greet lines early like HHN does early entry? There needs to be digital signs around the park saying how long meet and greet lines are and also on the app. That would be cool. Okay, I'm just going to throw it out there. It almost makes me sound crazy when I think of stuff like this because I feel like it's just like Disney universally hates this. What about if Magic Key holders had early entry to characters? Something to be like, I'm glad I got a Magic Key. I could meet Princess Leia an hour before. Right? How cool would that be? And I think the best way to do it was like they allow a certain amount of people and be like, hey, we're cutting it off here because we're gonna let the regular guest. You know what I mean? So it's not like just this infinite Magic Key holder. They just gotta like a certain amount that they'll let. And I think that would be cool. But that would be cool, Brian. I agree, dude. Early entry for Magic Key holders. but at the same time, I feel like Disney's like, go get your sticker at this Magic Key event or at this After Dark event. We got a sticker for you at the furthest point of the theme park. Go get your sticker over there. Oh man, yeah. I don't know how they would do like wait times for characters, but yeah, I guess it would be nice to know as like a non Magic Key holder. Like, whoa, Princess Leia's 2 hours. I'm not doing that. Yeah, because dude, it was crazy. But thank you, Brian. I appreciate your support, my friend. Good morning. All right, let's keep going. We got a juicy one from Tony. And by the way, I'm just reading from the members. These are all questions the members posted. The Avatar experience / expansion. What could it be and where? Where? All right, let's get into it. I've been waiting to talk about this.
Yeah, I've been waiting to talk about this too.
This is like Danny's wheelhouse right here. I'm going to go to the D23 article, Danny.
Yeah, I feel like so much has changed, and I'm glad that Mondo's bringing up the D23 article because they changed a lot of things after it was posted, which was kind of weird in and of itself. So right there, if Mondo stops at the title at the very top, it says, Avatar, the Way of Water stars react to news of an Avatar experience coming to Disneyland Resort. Now, this title used to say Pandora coming to Disneyland Resort, but they changed the title to saying Avatar Experience. And then throughout the article, every single time the actors say Disneyland, because most people refer to Disneyland when they say anything about the Disneyland Resort, they just say Disneyland. Even we do it sometimes just in general, like on a video, maybe a video title, just because overall the consciousness of Disneyland, people understand what that is, but they don't always know what Disney California Adventure is. So even Disneyland Resort, they don't know what that is. So, but all of the quotes from the actors, they added the word resort in like an addition, which is that bracket there after the word Disneyland. So if Disney's going out of their way, and shout out to Peter from Ordinary Adventures, who originally turned me on to this change. I didn't see this one at first. But if they're going out of their way to edit every single actor's quote to add in the word resort, that means that it's probably not going in Disneyland. Because if it was going inside Disneyland, they wouldn't make the effort to add the word resort in, which would mean overall something, because like if they're leaving the word Disneyland in and it's going to go into Disneyland, they would just have left it rather than edit the actor's quote, a direct quote from the actor. So there's a few things here. Like
Hey, Disneyland's like, I'm gonna tell you what you said.
yeah. So there's
I
a
don't
few
care
things
that
here.
I'm quoting you. I'm gonna tell you what I said or
Yeah.
what
So
you said.
the
Resort.
the few things here with like the changing the word Pandora to Avatar Experience, which again like freaks me out a little bit. And then changing like adding the word resort, which leads me to believe it's either not going to be in a theme park at all. Maybe it's in downtown Disney, or it's in Disney California Adventure Park, because that's why they had to add resort, so that it's not indicating that it's going to be inside Disneyland. So those two things are pretty telling on where it might be. Um, you know, Bob Bob Iger said that it was going to be, really like impressive, or like it would be like as impressive as Pandora, the world of Avatar over at Walt Disney World. But that's like, I don't know, like unless we're gonna get like an immersive land like that, I don't see how it could be as impressive. Maybe he means as impressive as like some of the attractions there, but even then, like Flight of Passage is one of the most technologically advanced, most expensive theme park attractions ever built. Like and like James Cameron's whole team was involved in building that attraction. So like, can they really like? Is it going to be a temporary experience? Like, why are we like emphasizing the word experience over and over again? Like, and
I've
how?
never I've never heard Disney dive into the word experience. I feel like it's always attraction. They don't really say experience. I don't
Yeah,
know.
because like even if like some people in the chat are saying like maybe make it Soren, like maybe Soren's video is like Avatar instead of Soren. Well, that would be like really a really cheap way of doing it, right? Because Flight of Passage is sort of like Soren, but it's way different in a lot of ways. Like A, the projectors are like so much more advanced, and B, you've got like rooms stacked on top of rooms, and all the rooms are moving, and everyone inside the rooms are seated on like these motorcycles that act like living creatures that are breathing in between your legs. So like if you're just gonna throw in an Avatar film into Soren, like you're missing all of that. So like, how can he say it could be as impressive as the Disney World one if we're not getting the same thing?
Yeah,
So
dude. First of all, Disney World Avatar is insane. You have floating mountain rocks, waterfall, immersive scenery and greenery. The floor becomes highlighted at night. You have the Flight of Passage, which is still demands 2 hour waits on the regular. Like, dude, Avatar or Pandora in Walt Disney World Animal Kingdom. I don't know if we could get something that cool here at Disneyland, Danny. Because first of all, where the hell do you put it? And I just want to say real quick, Harry Loco, my prayers are with you. Can we get 5 fire emojis for Harry Loco? Just send some love to him, man. I'm sorry to hear what happened, dude, but I just want to say thank you for taking a little bit of time out of your day to hang out with us. Sending nothing but prayers and love your way, Harry. Speedy recovery, my friend.
yeah, and as far as like a lot of people on TikTok and YouTube and other people that are speculating like that this experience could be like a new land coming in like Disneyland Forward expansions area. We have to think of like the logistics with that, right? So if let's say it's earmarked for Disney California Adventure, right? Because they made it a point to add the resort, so we can assume based on that it's not going into Disneyland. So with just a speculation, right?
There's no reason to put resort on any of these comments unless it was
Yeah,
going to California Adventure or Disneyland Forward.
but we have to think of the logistics of that, right? So Bob Iger said we would be hearing details soon about the Avatar experience. I don't know if he meant the details were this article, here, or more details as in like what it's actually going to be.
What is
But
coming? Where is it going to be?
yeah,
Projected time frame, like like by 2030. I don't know, stuff like that.
but I mean, technically, I guess this article from D23 was more details about it, and it was shared soon after he said that. But we have to think of the logistics, right? If so, we all know that Disneyland Forward is like way behind from what they said it was going to be. Um, Disney hasn't even come up with anything yet to submit to the city. So the city's not even like sitting on it and like waiting to approve it. Nothing's even been submitted to them. So at this point, they're not even in a place where they're submitting anything to the city to approve. So if this were something that was going to be going into like an expansion for Disney California Adventure, which we saw on the maps as potentially the area which is next to the Pixar Place Hotel, which is the Simba parking lot for downtown Disney. So let's just say maybe in the next year or two it gets approved by the city, and then they can finally start doing something on that land, and maybe this Avatar experience, they could start building, but that would take maybe 3 years to build. So we're looking at maybe like a 5-6 year timeline in the future for something like this if it went there. But even then, Disney has to have parking for guests in downtown Disney. That doesn't exist right now anywhere, like anywhere. The old downtown Disney parking lot wasn't big enough to accommodate the amount of guests that were coming onto um, that location. And B, there's no alternative parking for those guests. So the only other option would be, I guess, maybe throw everyone into down to Toy Story, and then like everyone has to bus in. Um,
Sounds
that
like a
could be
nightmare. That sounds like a
that could
nightmare.
be an option. But like if they're getting rid of the Simba parking lot, they have to have some sort of alternative for like guests who are coming to downtown Disney. So like people are very quick online, for views and clicks to say, oh, it's going to go into Disneyland Forward. But when you think about it, like um, Disneyland Forward's not anything. It's just a rezoning. So it's just, hey, here's this land that we already own that we can build hotels, parking, and shopping and dining on. But we want you to also be able to let us to put theme park stuff on this land too. And so if Disneyland Forward's approved, then Disneyland has the option to do that. But it's not, hey, this map that we showed you that had all these lands on it, that's all getting built all at once as soon as it's approved. No, that's not what it is. It's just, hey, we have this land. Right now, we can build a lot of stuff on it, but we can't build what we want to build on it, which is theme park lands. So can you change that and allow us to be able to build what we want on this space? And then all the logistics that go into getting that land rezoned. It's like, you know, a city that's randomly has like a residential zoning area, and all of a sudden, a business comes in and it's like, hey, I want to use this residential zoned area for my like corporate campus. And like, they'd have to submit to the city to like take away this residential area and make it part of their business. And so like there'd be a lot of process involved with that. So that's really how this is. So in my opinion, the Disneyland Forward earmarked areas for the Avatar experience is not where this is going, because that's way too far in advance, and Bob Iger made this seem like it's happening soon-ish. So, and in all reality too, if we think about like upcoming projects, right, like 2023, we got the Magic Happens parade. We got we're getting Mickey's Toontown. We got Mickey Minnie's Runaway Railway. We're getting Tiana's Palace restaurant, and potentially, or we don't even know yet, the Adventureland Treehouse opening this year, maybe. Or maybe next year. We don't know.
It's gonna open never.
Yeah, and then for 2024, we know that Tiana's Bayou Adventure is opening, so that we already know that year is taken care of. So like, what do we have coming for 2025, 2026? Like, is the Avengers ride coming on one of those years? Like, we don't know. Like, Disney always has at least one thing coming every year, right? And even if it's like a not so big project, kind of like this year where we're getting like, we did get a really amazing new ride that's like huge, but we're getting like a renovation of a land that's pretty much staying mostly the same with just some changes to it. And then a redone restaurant for Tiana, right? Like not major things, but really cool things.
San Francisco too.
Oh yeah, San Francisco. That's opening this year as well. So like a lot of smaller projects, but like Disney always has new things like coming out every single year. So like what comes out in 25, what comes out in 26, like maybe Avatar Experience is one of those, but like saying that it's going to be Disneyland forward, like that's just irresponsible to me. Unless they're showing us something that's opening in 2028. That's the only thing I can think of. Like this is opening 2028 for the LA Olympics, so we have some big land to have, which they could. I mean, I guess they could be telling us this early.
They did build Mickey and Minnie's pretty quickly. They did.
Yeah, so. They did.
And I'm that size show building would probably be something, I don't want to say similar, but to scale, like that could be what Flight of Passage, if they bring that over here. Because we all know Disney likes cloning rides. Disney's the best at cloning rides.
If you, I don't know if you're able to pull up Google Maps, Mondo, just to talk on this conversation.
Yeah. What do you want? Which area you want to look up?
Just go to like Pandora World of Avatar.
Pandora World of Avatar. Is it like? Is it Valley of Mora?
Yeah, Valley of Mora area.
There we go. I never knew it was called that. That's interesting. All right, here we go.
That one building houses the Navi River Journey and Flight of Passage. So it's like one giant building.
Damn. Dude, that thing has to be humongous.
Yeah.
Where can we put a size building like that at Disneyland? Nowhere, dude.
Yeah, and they could put like, I don't know, like I know like their Soarin', like at Disney World, Soarin' was so popular, like way more popular than it was here. Obviously, we got the attraction first. It was designed and built specifically for Disney California Adventure Park, and then it was such a success here that they cloned it and put it in Epcot. And then it was so popular in Epcot, like 10 times more popular than it was here. It regularly had like 3-hour waits. They built a third theater for Soarin'. So, and they did a similar thing for Toy Story Mania too. So their Soarin' has the same dual theater setup that ours has, but then they have a third theater, a C theater that we don't even have. And Toy Story Mania, they did the same thing. They added like a third track because it was so popular and it had like a 3-hour wait too. So maybe like they pre-built like a ton of theaters in Flight of Passage that we don't need. Like maybe they can cut it in half and like have less capacity and give us like the same ride but like a smaller version. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like maybe we don't have to have one as big as that.
Sheesh. Dude, Pandora is ginormous. We got H with the super chat. Thank you so much. I heard you mention that you once both used to work at Disneyland. I was wondering where. I worked as a ride operator in Tomorrowland. That was like my main positions. It was a great journey, and I could no longer work at Disneyland. too long to talk about. Nothing bad, but yeah.
I had too many jobs to like different jobs. But my job was so weird, like I can't even go into it. But let's just say I started at the hotels, working in the hotels, and at one point I also worked at Club 33. So there we go.
There you go. That's all you need to know. But yeah, working at Disneyland's fun until sometimes it doesn't become fun. If you worked at Disneyland, you probably know what that means. Hula Mama, Disney Mike suggested that they could change all of Redwood Creek into World Walking Avatar Experience. So, as we were mentioning earlier, Disneyland Resort, I have a feeling it's California Adventure or Disneyland Forward. There's been a lot of talk that...
Honestly, that alone, Mondo, just really quick, that even just making the Redwood Creek Challenge Trail a walking experience for Avatar, that would blow my mind. So, like, I'm okay with that. Like, even if there's no ride and it's just like you're walking into the night version of Pandora, mind blown. Like, it would be amazing. So
Wow, imagine it's a night experience. That's where it would really shine. Well, it would shine in the day, but like at night, it'd be like, whoa. Like they create that tree that they kind of like lock themselves into, like to connect.
yeah,
Um, I Redwood Creek Challenge Trail. I don't have a. I don't want to say I know, but I feel like nobody would complain about it transition like being reimagined into Avatar experience. That would make sense, right? The whole word of experience, Avatar, you're experiencing the world of Pandora or wherever they take us. That would be cool. The other crazier talk I was gonna say was that from Soren all the way to Little Mermaid, all that would become the world of Avatar. And there's a lot of crazy talk, like Flight of Passage would come, Navi's River would come, but in that reality, we would lose all of those attractions that are currently there. Soarin' would be gone, Redwood Creek Challenge Trail, Grizzly River Run, even Little Mermaid, all that would be just reimagined or lost completely into something new. I would love to believe something like that, but we're in the world where Disneyland likes just reimagining things. For example, look at Pixar Pier. They didn't change nothing. They just reimagined it. Essentially, now you could even say Toontown. That just it's about to get reimagined next week. No, Disneyland ain't trying to go that hard. It would make sense. Avatar is an absolute success of a franchise. And we have like 2 or 3 more films coming. So Avatar is a humongous moneymaker. I wouldn't be sad to see Grizzly River Run go or Redwood Creek Challenge Trail. I feel like there would be a pretty sized riot if Little Mermaid or Soarin' disappeared. Like, people would be pissed. Kimberly Moore says Fresh Baked announced that they are building a new Earl of Sandwich in the area of downtown Disney where the dirt field is. Either 2 or 3 stories with the rooftop. To me, I'm just throwing it out there. I don't know if there's 2 to 3 stories worth of demand for Earl of Sandwich. That would make more sense for a Portos. But I don't know. I don't think that's crazy. They're expecting some big ass crowds then. If that's the case for Earl of Sandwich.
I didn't even in the artwork that they showed us, it didn't even look like any of those buildings were 2 stories.
Yeah, that's crazy. I'll look into it. Kimbo Dog YT says, my take, why? Don't get me wrong, Pandora is nice. Walt Disney World Pandora Land is breathtaking. But Disneyland Resort needs to take care of the lands they already have instead of adding more. We are still waiting for Tomorrowland to get the attention it needs.
Yes, we are.
I don't even want to go into it.
Yeah, we keep like pretending like Tomorrowland doesn't exist, and then doing other things.
They're like Disneyland needs a refurb.
Tomorrowland entrance that we announced in 2019. What?
I don't get it, Danny. And big shout out to Jansen. Thank you for gifting a membership, Jansen. 5 bar. Thank you for growing the 5 bar community. Heck yeah.
Got Hula Mama in the chat. Why those prices at taverns are ridiculous, dude. Mondo, nothing is under $20.
Oh, are we talking about? Did Mice Chat post that? What is the tavern? What are we talking about? The tavern. What is the tavern?
The tavern is the sit-down restaurant portion of Earl of Sandwich in its current temporary location.
Oh, I have no idea. Wow, the prices for that are crazy.
They're like they're on the same level as like Splitsville.
Get out of here!
But like, you can still get like a cheap sandwich at Earl of Sandwich. So like, I don't get what's the draw of going to like Earl of Sandwich Tavern. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I saw. Because I love to follow Mice Chat. You know, they always got great information. They recently posted this on their Twitter. Disney pricing has become insane for nearly everything. $18 fries in the Great Hall of Disneyland's Grand Californian. Robert Iger, this is laughable example of how Disney's pricing has jumped the shark. $18 French fries. I think it's right here. Thin cut Parmesan truffle fries. I think that's the ones he's talking about. Dude, forget the $18 fries. $18 seasonal cookies. I'm just gonna. It is ridiculous, Hula Mama. It really is. But like, Danny, let's talk about pricing real quick. You know, Disneyland has never been affordable. I feel like it's always been a luxury. This like extra thing. Like it's never been this like, oh, there's a deal today. Maybe it was like 10, 20 years ago. But the Disney that I've been in, which is like the last 7 years, it has not been an affordable experience. But has Disney gone too far with prices? And in regards to portion now, because Disneyland, they have come down on portions on a lot of things. What are your thoughts on the pricing angle of it all, Danny?
Yeah, there's a lot of things that are just priced like way too high for the value that they provide as far as food's concerned, right? I think it's still safe to say that anyone can argue the value of a ticket to Disneyland if you're comparing it to any other entertainment that's, pricing things, whether it be concerts, basketball games, football games, etc. But I think when it comes to food, yeah, it's teetering on some ridiculous pricings for sure. Especially, I think the most prime example for me is a $10 bottle of Smart Water.
Yeah.
That's the that's the most like.
I'm just saying, in what world are you buying a $10 water bottle at Disneyland?
I think that's like one of the examples, but then there's some examples where like it's still pretty good value. Some places, like I still feel like
Don't say it too loud, Danny.
yeah, I still feel like there's a lot of places that offer good value, but then there's some that's like just beyond. And I think if you're eating at the Grand Californian in the lobby, there's probably a little bit of convenience put into there because it's like, it's weird because like the like that whole menu that he was showing on Mice Chat, like that's kind of evolved over time, right? Because like they don't want you to like sit in the lobby and like eat food there. And for a while they didn't even allow you to have anything in the lobby food wise except for like water. Even though they had a bar attached to the lobby, the Hearthstone Lounge, you couldn't take your drinks outside of it. And then for a while, like the tables kind of closer to the Hearthstone Lounge, like they started letting you bring your drinks out there, and like that was okay. And then we started getting the like dessert cart into the hotel, and then all of a sudden, like Disney's Grand California Hotel room service was starting to serve guests in the lobby because they would pick up the phone and they would call room service because it's on the phones in the lobby, and they would order room service to the lobby. And then it just like became a thing where like it was happening regularly. And then they just made like, I didn't even know until you just showed me that article from Mouse Chat, or that post from Mouse Chat, that that they even call the lobby like some sort of restaurant or lounge. It's like the Great Hall. Like I don't know what is that. It had like a whole logo and everything. Like
Yeah,
that's
let
so
me bring that back up real quick because that I didn't realize that. Yeah.
yeah, like so to me it's like evolved over time. So it's like it's weird. I think that like there's a little bit of convenience baked into that because
Dude,
it's like
I'm gonna we have to check this out, Danny. The Great Hall. That's true.
yeah. So it's like this is new to me. Like I didn't like before when I've ordered there in the past, you just would pick up the phone on any of the like the tables that are in there that have like the house phones,
The
and you would
Great
order
Hall.
and you would order from room service, right? And then like for a while they were putting like room service menus like on the tables in the lobby. But like this whole like themed menu with the gold leaf and all that, like that's new to me. Like I didn't even know that was offered. I didn't know any of this was offered. So I feel like there's a little bit of convenience baked in there because you're in the lobby basically being served at your seat You know what I mean? So I feel like the prices are probably a little bit inflated, kind of like they are when you order off like DoorDash or something. You know, it's like a little bit of convenience baked in there because you're sitting in the lobby and it's not really like a restaurant. Like it's either room service that's doing that, so you're paying the room service prices, or those are like staff from one of the other restaurants that are kind of like, you know, seeing this over, I guess, a little bit. So
Yeah, it's kind of hard for Disney to be like. Let me give you an example. Where are we at? So I looked up. I'm just curious. You know, we're always curious on what pricing is. I searched the Paradise Pier Hotel. I didn't do nothing fancy. I just put April 14th to the 16th, which is like a weekend stay for 2 adults. And it comes out for a standard view, $488 per night, Danny. If you want the premium view, so you want to look at the other side of construction, $590. $590. And this is considered to be the more value resort, Paradise Pier Hotel. If you were to do the standard, the total cost would be it would be $1,800 for the 14th through the 16th. So I think for Disney, it's kind of hard to take a step back when they've been making this kind of money for them to be like, you know what, we're okay making $1,300. I don't know. Can Disney do steps like that? Probably not, dude. Because as a company, they're used to that money and people are paying it. Paradise Pier Hotel, Disneyland Hotel, Grand Californian, they're sold out on the regular. These hotels are very popular, very popular. So we'll see. We'll see. There was one change that did get implemented, and I feel like it didn't get talked about enough, but we talked about it, was that 0 tier and how they added, I think it was like 103 days or something. Yeah. Remember that, Danny? It was so there. Disney, they for sure made an impact of like, look, we made like 100 days accessible at the lowest tier. So anybody wants to come to Disneyland, you could pay a more affordable price. You're not gonna get the bells and whistles of Magic Happens, Wondrous Journeys, and all this cool stuff. But hey, you still come to Disneyland.
Yeah, I think Stellar B brings up a good point in the chat. When you see these prices, it really does bring a lot of value to like a Disney cruise.
Oh my God, Disney cruising is the best. Dude, anytime I talk Disney cruising with somebody at Disneyland, I have like 20-minute conversations. I could talk Disney, and I've only been on one. We got Grumpy Rich with 9 months of membership. Let's go. Grumpy Rich, keep doing what you do. We love Speculation Sunday, live streams, and all your content always fired up. By Fires, Grumpy Rich, thank you for the 9 months of membership, man. Appreciate your kindness and support as always. Let me see. Yup, that's true. For your hotel price, go on a Disney cruise. Reach out to the Mystery Base. She is taking quotes again. Hit her up. This woman needs to work. I'm just kidding. But send your quotes to her. My girlfriend is the Mystery Bay. Her name is Coco. You could message her to get a quote on any type of Disney experience that you're trying to do, from Disneyland, Walt Disney World, Disney Cruise. There's in all my videos, I put a link at the very top that says book or get a quote.
It's in the description of this video right now.
Yep.
I'm looking at it.
Click that quote, message her, and it doesn't put you in any obligation, but at least you could know what you could get for whatever your travel you're trying to do. But if you're trying to go to Paradise Pier Hotel, well, it's a wonderful $1,800 for a 2-3 day stay. It's just what it is. Disneyland's, it has got very pricey. Like, no one will deny that. Beverly says, we went to Craftsman's Grill a week ago. If you're not sure what Craftsman's Grill is, it's a restaurant/bar inside the Grand Californian by the poolside. Worst service and food we've ever had there. 45 minutes to get the pizza, and a side of fries came out frozen. And my $19 drink was undrinkable. Oh, my Lanta. I thought you were talking about the Magic Key Terrace. No, she's talking about Craftsman's. She's talking about Craftsman's. Um, Let me see. Y'all heard the major rumor of Universal Studios being renamed to Universal Hollywood Resort, and we'll get like 2 new hotels and major expansion plan. I've heard about all that for a long time, but like those are crazy major plans that I would love to talk about, but I feel like Universal has to announce it first. Because it's crazy to hear 2 hotels coming to Universal Studios Hollywood. If they're going that hard, you best believe there's more theme park coming. Because if you want people to stay there, you have to give them a reason to be there multiple days. Yeah. And I'm not trying to say that what they currently have is not a multiple day thing, but you have to give people this like inclination of like, I need 3 days. I can't do all that in 1 day. So we'll see, dude. It's a good speculation, man. What's up, Jason? Good morning. Brian says, I remember last year they said they were considering demolishing Launch Bay for seating area. Oh, good, dude. Launch Bay is like that one thing that it's like untouchable, dude. For some reason, it's untouchable. And there's more that goes into Launch Bay, you know, with the back workings of Disney. But yeah, Launch Bay, it's just not going to leave, man. We got a super chat on the Venmo at the Cali Bay from Melissa. Melissa, what is up? Good morning. Thank you for all that you do, my friend. Split it with Danny. I left ballet early for this. Plus, I pulled my left back muscle during class. Oh. What are the Oh, my gosh. I hate pulled muscles, especially if you have it on your back. The thing with pulled muscles is like you almost take it for granted how much we use any muscle, like just the muscles that hold up your head. So when something is strained and you pull it, you're just like, I just need to stop using that muscle because every little, like doing this for Melissa is probably a pain a day, like the moving of the shoulders. Oh, Melissa, I hope you're okay. Sheesh. Just relax. Take the day to relax. Oh, man. But thank you, Melissa. I appreciate it. I'll definitely split that with Danny. Let's see. I need a far, far away Shrek expansion, Diagon Alley, Donkey Kong. Let's go. I agree, Peter. I agree. Have you seen, I know it just came out, but has anybody seen Puss in Boots, the new one from Peacock? I'm like 30 minutes in, and I just want to throw this out there. That animation they brought in that is beautiful. And when I look at Disney, I have to like compare it, but I'm just like, dude, whoever's animating these Puss in Boots stuff, they like went that extra level of whatever Disney's doing. I was like, wow, like it's very distinctive. Like this is different than this animation by a lot, like on a level of quality. Puss in Boots look beautiful. Are they still putting the DVC lounge on the second story of Launch Bay? Very good question. Have you heard anything, Danny?
Yes. Yeah, it's for sure going in. Absolutely.
Damn. Well, there you go. So soon enough, I'm guessing if it is coming, that's like a 1 month thing. Like it has to be, because aren't sales going live like very soon for DVC stuff?
Well, here's the thing. So I kind of broke this down on my podcast a little bit. It's tricky.
Where can we find your podcast, Danny? Let them know.
The 5571 podcast. You can search for it on Apple Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts, Google Podcasts, wherever. Just search 5571. But we talked a little bit. We talked a lot about the hotel, but just more recently, I've had episodes about the Disneyland Hotel's expansion specifically, and I've done a lot of videos covering it too on my YouTube. But I think more importantly, like a lot of people aren't Disney Vacation Club members, so like they don't know necessarily kind of how it works. But I think the most important takeaway from it is if when it kind of works similar to like a normal a normal like a timeshare, right? So you buy a vested interest or like a piece of property, like a portion of it, into some property, and then based on like how much you buy into, you get a number of points to use every year for vacations at any of their properties, and then you have annual dues to pay for upkeep of the one that you bought into. And so your home resort, you have an 11-month in advance ability to book at, and anything that's a Disney Vacation Club resort that's not your home resort, you can book 7 months out. So 11 months for your home resort, 7 months out for your non-home resort. Well, right now, the Disneyland Hotel's new villas, we know that opens on September 28th, I think it is. And bookings start next week. So I think on Wednesday, they start for Disney Vacation Club members, and then Thursday for Magic Key holders, if there's any left. And then right after that, the public, if there's any left again. But we're in a unique period because right now, no one owns the villas at the Disneyland Hotel, right? It's not anyone, no one owns that yet. No one's bought into that as their home resort. It's going to be for sale. What we've been told when Mondo and I ask like the DVC people about it, they say they're expecting like early to late summer for when this starts to go on sale, which would make sense because it opens in September. So they would start selling vested interest in the Disneyland Hotel until they run out and sell out of it. But there's no one currently that has an 11-month advantage. So when reservations open up on Wednesday, everyone has the same advantage, which is unique because normally, like right now, the villas at the Disney's Grand Californian Hotel and Spa, they only have 71 in all of Disneyland. 71 villas, and that's if some of the 2-bedroom rooms are sold separately as like 2 1-bedroom rooms, right? So and that always doesn't happen. Like sometimes they're booked together. So if they're booked together, then there's even less, right? So, and they sold out of the vested interest into the Grand Californian like years ago. The hotel, the villas opened, I don't even know what year it opened, like 2009 or 8 or something. And whenever that sold, those guests all have 11 months out. So you can basically guess here, all those guests that bought into that with only 71 villas at maximum, all the guests that have 11 months, they book it up, and they book it up every single year, and they keep doing it. So then all the guests that don't have a home there and want to book at Disney Vacation Club at the Grand Californian, they can never do it because it's always booked. Always. I'm a vacation club member, my family is, and they've been only able to stay at the Grand Californian once using points because of how booked it is. So if you're not a member, if you're not the home resort of the Grand Californian, it's like almost impossible to book. So the nice part about the reservations opening this week for the Disneyland Hotel is like everyone's on the same playing field. So every single person has the ability to book out the same because no one owns that yet. So I'd say, Mondo, there's going to be a lot of people that are able to book come Wednesday. But as far as like anything being left for like Magic Key holders or regular guests, I don't know. Because you think there's like over 300, I think they said, villas there. But I'm sure there's plenty of like East Coaster, West Coaster vacation club members that like want to book those 300 rooms. Like, and the only way that a regular guest can book it with the discount, like for Magic Key or like regular, is if the vacation club members didn't book it.
Which is not going to happen.
I mean, it might not happen on like the big massive room, right? Because that's like so many points.
Oh, so you're telling me a Magic Key holder could get the 20,000 a night room?
Yeah, exactly. So like typically,
hit up Mystery Bay if you're booking that one, please.
It's like typically what you see at Walt Disney World is like if you're trying to book a studio, which is like a regular size room with the kitchenette, or a 1-bedroom room, which is, you know, basically like a 1-bedroom suite with a full kitchen in it. Those rooms usually book up first at all the vacation club resorts at Disney World. Like those are the ones that go. So like you have to really be on it to get those rooms because those are the ones that are like affordable. They have like a decent amount of points you use for those. But like the 2 bedrooms and the grand villas, like those are the ones that you can book pretty easily. And then those are the ones typically too that go on sale because they're not being booked. So, but like the 3 bedroom grand villa at the Disneyland Hotel, I don't even want to know what that room's gonna cost. Because if the themed rooms at the Disneyland Hotel that are like highly themed in the Adventure Tower, those are like $5,000 to $7,000 a night. If those rooms are that much money, this is a 2-story room with multiple balconies, an outdoor fireplace, and like a full kitchen. It's basically like a 2 bedroom a 3 bedroom multi-story condominium in like a high rise. Like I don't even want to know. I don't even want to know what the cost of that would be per night.
20,000. 20,000.
Yeah. I don't even want to know.
Yeah. Arlene with the gifted membership. Thank you, Arlene. 5 stars. Heck yeah. I appreciate you growing the 5-star community. Let's go. Wow.
That's like a lot of like ranting, not ranting, but like it's like I just kind of threw up a lot of Disney Vacation Club news, but like essentially like the way you look at it as is like if you're trying to book this and you're not a DVC member, the only way you can book it is if Disney Vacation Club doesn't book it. And seeing as how the Grand Californian has such little amount of villas, and there's like 20 resorts at Walt Disney World that have Vacation Club. There's a lot of guests that don't vacation here because they can't book here. So the short answer to all that ranting is that you can only pay to stay in that new tower if it's not being booked by DVC. So that may or may not line up with when you want to go. You know what I mean? You might just have to pick a day you don't necessarily want to go because that's a day that the Vacation Club members aren't booking it.
Crazy, dude. Yeah, that's. Whew. By the way, I just want to, since we're on this DVC talk, revisiting this concept part.
That seems like a really big lounge, Mondo.
I just want to say it. I feel like this is underwhelming, dude. For people that drop like probably 25 to 100,000 for their resort, I want that lounge to be like incredible, you know. Maybe this is just a glimpse of what it'll look like, but I don't know. One thing that did land, and I just want to bring it up, a NASA Spirit jersey landed at the exit of Space Mountain. And I'm guessing it's going to relate to this stuff that you're looking at right now. So maybe...
go ahead.
No, what were you going to say?
There's a... Arlene gifted, while I was chatting, a 1 membership. And it was actually gifted to Melissa.
Yeah, let's go. Let's go.
So Melissa is now a member. But I wanted to highlight Steve 808's member chat. They put... So do you book rooms for the new DVC resort on the DVC website, or is there a number to call in? This is great because normally if it's just a regular DVC stay and you're using your points, you can do both. You can call in or go on the website. But but this particular one at least on the Disney Parks blog update that they shared, like, what was it, last week, Mondo, or like the week just before? They said the only option was to call in. So you have to call in with everyone on Wednesday morning when they open to try to book. If you're a Vacation Club member, if you're not a Vacation Club member, you still call that number, but you just have to wait till the day after. So like Wednesday, if you're a DVC member, you can try to use your points to book one of the rooms during the first few months, and then Thursday, Magic Key holders, and then after that sometime is the public. But that's all subject to it not being booked fully by everyone on Wednesday during the introductory period, because there's going to be a point, right, where they start selling it, and then it has to follow the rules of all the other resorts where it's 11 months out if it's your home, 7 months out if it's not. So,
man, crazy. Thank you, Steve 808 for 20 months of membership. Woo! We're gonna see how all that plays out. I'm very curious. I can't wait. Me and Danny do a walkthrough of that hotel, like whatever lobby or whatever we can see as a regular guest. I would love to see it. I think it's gonna be a very beautiful hotel. Very beautiful hotel.
I would love to stay there, but I don't know how. Like, we'll have to see what the points breakdown looks like. You know,
Seven's down, dude. I was talking to, since we're in this DVC stuff. I know it's not because a lot of us can't relate to this. Somebody was saying that the entry fee might be like 35 to 50,000 to get in that DVC hotel. Like, it's gonna be something crazy.
Yeah,
I was like, I don't doubt it.
You have to keep in mind too. You can finance your interest over like 5 years or so into the home property that you choose, but you have to keep in mind you have annual dues. So and certain resorts have higher annual dues, like people that bought into Aulani, which I don't know if you can still buy into Aulani. I know it was super big and they had so much vested interest there, so I'm not sure if they're still selling or not. But they have really high annual fees, and so does like Disney's Animal Kingdom Lodge, because your annual fees pay to take care of the animals. So there's like, you have to like factor that into play. Like, I don't know what the fees are here, but I would imagine like California real estate stuff, like there's probably
we're talking ridiculous money. That's what I'm saying. If anybody goes into DVC and you're from the firefighter community, please, like, I can't emphasize this enough, understand the interest of how it works in that loan before you sign anything.
And the annual dues.
Thoroughly, annual due. Totally under, like, you want this to be clear in your mind before you sign any of that DVC stuff. Because there's a lot of horror stories out there. Just letting you know where they're like, what? This is how it works? Daily interest? For 30 years? 50 years?
It's definitely a great value if you go to Disney a lot, for sure. But like Mondo said, just be cautious about
Understand what you're doing. Like, don't get lost in the Disney hoopla of like, oh, boom, sign. You just want to be aware of what's going on. Even though they explain it to you, take it home and understand it even more. We got Jim, 12-month member, with Iger's talk of the focus on creative. What do you see happening in relation to the SoCal parks the next couple of years? Very good question. I think the emphasis is going to go back to Avenger Campus. That's what I think. And I think it's going to truly expand finally into Hollywood Studios. So Monsters, Inc., goodbye. PhilharMagic, probably goodbye. That Hollywood Lounge will probably be reimagined into something Avengers. That's what I think is going to happen. To me, the whole thought of Disneyland Forward, I just don't even consider that right now. But that's what I think is going to happen. On the Disneyland side,
I think it's weird, Mondo, that they keep like wanting to take away backstage stuff to build that e-ticket attraction. I'm just like, why don't you just like go into Hollywoodland? There's like nothing.
Done.
Like put it over there. Like put it over there.
Man, I don't know what else could come from my imagination. What about you, Danny? Is there any big creative movement that's going to come possibly for Disney? I think that Avatar stuff, that's like probably 10 years from now. I wouldn't even doubt it.
We have to think about, we kind of have to go back in time, and you can probably pull up some of these articles, Mondo, very easily. I just want to, before we move on, I wanted to mention really quick, just to give people an idea of what you're saying, be careful. Amy Bailon in the chat, who's a longtime chatter and listener and watcher, she said that she's a member and her annual dues for her home property are over $2,000 a year. So that can add up, especially if you're on a fixed income, like, and you agree to that for like 50 years. So like,
that's what I'm saying. I'm not here to hate on it. I hope I become a DVC member one day.
Yeah.
But it's just be aware of what's going on. Don't let Mickey Mouse blind you. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's like that. It's like that hidden HOA. It's like a Melrose or something like that. All of a sudden. But to what Mondo was saying, we can go back in time, right? before we got the Pixar Pals parking structure, like that was never supposed to happen, right? We were supposed to get that new parking structure off of Harbor. The reason why they demolished the Carousel Inn, right? Like the beloved Carousel Inn that like a ton of people love staying at on Harbor Boulevard. To this day, it's still just an empty lot because Disney tore down the hotel and there's nothing there. But when that parking structure in 2019, I don't even know when it was supposed to come. I think if you just type in, Mondo, like East Resort parking structure for Disneyland, um, when you type that in, you can see kind of like the plan. So Disney was going to make a giant parking structure behind all the hotels in down on Harbor Boulevard, and then they were going to have a pedestrian bridge that crossed over Harbor where the Carousel Inn was. There it is, right there on the screen. So this was going to be the big parking structure, and then they were going to have a bridge and a transportation plaza at this parking structure, and they were going to funnel all guests through this structure where this Disneyland archway is. That's why you're seeing guests walk into it. So like all the guests on Harbor Boulevard and all the guests coming from other surrounding hotels, if they were wanting to walk on Disneyland property, they wouldn't be walking through the Harbor Boulevard entrance anymore. They'd be going to the structure, and they would either be taking a tram or they would be walking across that bridge. Because the security checkpoints for all the guests would be in this structure, like it is at the Mickey and Friends one. And then you would be scanned and secured and checked and all that, and then you could walk over the bridge to your to the Design Resort. But in doing so, it freed up all that space where you normally enter the park on Harbor Boulevard. So if you think about that, there's like, I don't know, like 5 or 6 or 7 bus loops right there, a ton of space, like 2 big bus loops for Toy Story and like all the other ones for the hotels and like the cast members and stuff, going all the way to that backstage spot. Like that's a huge space of land right there. Like that was earmarked for Disneyland expansion too. And I don't think they need any sort of Disneyland forward approvals to build there. I think they can already build there if they want to. So they were already talking about expanding California Adventure into that space right there where like the Toy Story buses and stuff go. And with this new entrance into Disneyland on Harbor with this structure, that allowed them to do that. But, for anyone that was following the Disneyland news back in the day, like when Mondo and I were doing it, like kind of around like when they started building the Pixar structure, the city of Anaheim shut this project down because they didn't. The businesses and the smaller businesses and the smaller hotels that were on Harbor Boulevard, the restaurants, the little shops and stuff like that, they were afraid that by having a bridge cross over Harbor Boulevard, that it would remove their foot traffic, and they would no longer have foot traffic bringing in business to their small businesses. So it got a lot of opposition, and they canceled the project, and it forced Disneyland to have to think quickly on where they could build a new parking structure, because they had to build one, because back then parking was so bad. Like Mondo and I have talked about, it was closing all the time. Every day there'd be tweets from Disneyland saying there's literally nowhere left to park, and they would park you at Angel Stadium and bus you in from Angel Stadium, which was
they haven't done that since the pandemic. They haven't done
that's like a 25-30 minute bus ride with like all the signal lights and stuff. So like that was a big deal.
Real quick too, Danny, look at how much things have been canceled. When you look back, this was supposed to come to Downtown Disney.
Yeah,
and it's not.
Yeah, well, this right here being canceled is the whole reason the parking structure was canceled.
Yeah, it all connects.
Yeah, it all connects. So when this was canceled right here by the city, and they said they couldn't do it. Well, it technically wasn't canceled by the city. It was like Disney and the city were basically like having a pissing contest.
It just wasn't allowed.
And they were just fighting with each other on like really like tax, basically the tax incentive for Disney. Like they were battling on it, right? And the city was kind of like trying to get Disney on a technicality, and Disney didn't. And then Disney was like, "Well, fine. If we're not getting the tax breaks, then we're not building it." And then they just backed out on it.
They're like, we're done.
Yeah, and so they just canceled this. But in order, when this was being built, that other structure had to be built. But when they did that, they just canceled everything, and then they just said, "Hey, we're building the Pixar structure and this bridge, and that's what we're doing." And so that was weird. That was all in 2019.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy to look back. Then they were like, "Well, we're doing this. That we could do this right now. We're doing this. Done." Kind of crazy that like this wasn't the priority. It really wasn't.
Yeah.
Really
So I think
wasn't.
if we're looking to the future for like what Mondo was saying, like long story for expansion for a Disney California Adventure, I think we can look at like that parking structure coming back and freeing up that space where the buses go to like expand that somehow.
Yeah. We got 11 months. Oh, Anthony. I wouldn't mind if they put an indoor Avengers roller coaster where Hollywood Lounge is, and get rid of Monsters Inc. and just scrap the King Thanos ride. I would be curious.
Mondo, I have this much interest in a King Thanos.
I'm gonna do a poll right now. I want to know the interest in this. I know it's only our community, but who's interested in a King Thanos ride? And I'm not hating on King Thanos. I could imagine his story is probably wonderful. It's just nobody has a connection, something like a anticipation of it. Let me see. Who is interested in the King Thanos ride? I'm curious to ask the community. We're going to do a poll. If you see the poll, please cast your vote. I would love to hear from you. But my answer is no interest.
Yeah. I just feel like, are we interested in an Avengers e-ticket attraction? Sure we are.
Yeah.
Or some sort of Avengers attraction. But with kind of what we saw about the King Thanos ride, like, coming from seeing that epic artwork that they showed us for like the Avengers e-ticket that was supposed to come to Avengers Campus, like, you're going to be in a Quinjet and you're going to like break off into like these individual seats somehow. And like you'd be flying through the attraction and like just this wild thing that was shown to us at D23 Expo. And then the next thing they show us is like what looks like a boat, even though it's probably not a boat, but it looks like a boat. And then around the boat was like all these versions of different characters in the universe, like coming to battle.
Dude, let me bring it up, Danny. Let me bring it up.
I was just like going from that, and like we got no details on it, so like I don't really know how we could be excited when we were already teased this like amazing ride.
Look at it. This was it. Look, there's people separated, like they're not connected anymore. They're just look at that. Damn. And then it became I'm not hating, but when you go from that one to this one, what the hell happened? And now you're sitting on I don't know what kind of ride vehicle. I'm guessing, people have said it's going to be like Simpsons. That's what it's going to feel like. Something like Simpsons, where essentially you're looking at the screen and all the Avengers are going to try to take down King Thanos. I don't know. It's hard to be excited when the original one was like, whoa, like, dude, Disney's going hard. And then King Thanos. Super chat from It's the Real RV. How do y'all feel about the park reservation system? Do y'all feel like it'll bring even more crowds or not? For me, the park reservation system, it's very clear. Bob Iger said it not that long ago that its whole intention is to create more profit with less crowd. It's very clear. And it also helps them with staffing appropriately and the whole concept of forecasting for like merch, food, expenses, whatever the case might be. They know the crowds. Hey, we got 30,000 coming this day, 60,000 this day. But at the same time, to talk about crowds, they can make a Monday, a Tuesday, a Wednesday feel like a Saturday on a 4-day weekend. So, yeah, reservations, it's just about creating demand when they want it. That's how I look at it now. I don't know. There's no other way to look at it, huh, Daddy? Like at this point in time? It has nothing to do with COVID.
Yeah, it's not. It's really just for them to. I think it just helps them plan better, right? And I guess that you could argue that them planning better gives you a better experience because maybe they've staffed better, etc. Right? So I guess you could look at it that way. Does it make it harder for you to visit the resort? Yeah, because you have to be a little bit more planful, right, with what you're doing. You have to have your reservations in advance. It's something that you didn't have to think of before, but I don't think it's really going to change. You know what I mean? Like Mondo was saying, it's a positive change for them as a company, and so I think that's until they, and I don't think it's too much of an inconvenience, other than the fact that you can't cancel day of for like kind of emergency situations. But yeah, there's another shot of the ride right there with everyone in their Quinjet.
Dude, this is going to be crazy ass ride, dude. This might have been one of the most epic rides that would have existed, probably.
The way they were describing that's what they said. It was going to be like the most advanced ride ever.
Damn.
So,
well, we're getting King Thanos and Kimberly. If anybody knows King Thanos, it's Kimberly. King Thanos isn't for children, so they need to skip it. Yeah,
she's basically saying King Thanos is a part in the multiverse where he didn't lose, right? And he like kills a lot of people. So
yeah,
that's
dude,
what he's saying.
He's wrecking the Avengers, dude. Carla and Kiko. Woo! 20 months of membership. Carla and Kiko. Oh my Atlanta. Happy Speculation Sunday, everyone. Thank you, Mondo and Danny, for bringing us all the SoCal theme park updates. 5 fires. Let's go. Thank you, Carla and Kiko. Are you guys going to Boysenberry Festival? Let me know. I'd love to hang out with you guys. I don't even know if Boysenberry Festival is happening on the weekdays. Like, that's how informed I am. But Carla, Kiko, let me know if you guys are going to Boysenberry Festival. Ian Grimm.
Go ahead.
The King Thanos ride will hopefully use the Shanghai Pirates tech or Peter Pan tech from Tokyo. You know, I would love to think that, but we got web slingers. I would love to think that. I would love to. There's no space for that. Dude, that Shanghai, if they did something like that, I'd be like, Disneyland, nobody could touch Disneyland theme park. Like, if they brought Shanghai, but Marvel, my gosh, insane. It'd be insane. What were you going to say, Danny?
No, I was just going to say, since on the topic of Boysenberry Festival, we talked about Universal, we talked about Disneyland. Should we talk about the Boysenberry Festival?
Let's talk about it. Yep. I'll bring up our Knott's Adventure, our favorite Knott's account to follow. I can't say that enough. All right, I got it up. I can't wait to go. I don't even, I still, since Friday debut, they haven't been able to do the main stage show, at least as far as I know. So maybe today is the day because the weather's holding up pretty good. But I'll be covering that. I want to do a live stream of that show whenever I can go. But I hope Boysenberry Festival is every day. The main stage show has 2 days off during the week, though. Damn. Jen, I know this is a lot to ask. Do you know what days the main stage Calico show happens? I want to know.
Maybe it's on her Instagram.
Let's check it out. Our Knott's Adventure. I can't say this enough. They are my favorite account to follow on Instagram for Knott's updates. Right here. Let me see. I think she got a guide. So Boysenberry Festival has kicked off March 10th all the way to April 16th. She put all the foods that are tasting options, and obviously that is too much to go over. It just never ends. I feel like this year Knott's went above and beyond when it comes down to freaking the food. I can't help but laugh. The King Thanos Astro Blasters. It's coming in 2025. But no, Knott's went above and beyond with the food. Uh, Let me see. Is there any dates? So the price of the tasting card is $55, and it's 6 tasting tabs. Food and beverage offerings at the locations close 30 minutes prior, or sorry, close about 30 minutes to 1 hour before park closing. So don't wait too long to get your food. Get on it. Mondays and Tuesdays it's off. Damn, I was trying to go on Monday, so I'll maybe I'll switch my plans to Wednesday for Boysenberry Festival, because I want to get the full experience when I go to Boysenberry Festival. Eat the food, meet the characters, see the show. I don't want to just go for the food. I want to get the full experience. But we haven't gone just yet, but there's plethora of food. Entertainment. This is the big one. Let me see if I can put it more. It doesn't let me put it in the middle. The main show is Knott's Preserved, a Centennial Musical Celebration, and that's the one that I was talking about. It's like right above Danny. We or not we. We haven't been able to see it because of the weather. So it's like I know that they did a preview for like Berry Ambassadors, but not the full show. At least from what I've seen.
Yeah, and it's and according to Jen as well too, and I think Jay mentioned it too. Jay Saucedo, Diamond Boy Disney. He said that this show, and so did Jen, was supposed to have debuted with the Boysenberry Festival in 2020, which obviously never happened because the park shut down. So this is now, and it makes sense because Knott's Preserved was like a big theme during the Knott's 100 celebration. They even had this whole like Knott's Preserved kind of like fun scavenger hunt with like QR codes in the park, which I miss and I wish they would bring back. But the Knott's Preserved was like a big deal during the 100, and that's why like it says Centennial. So this was something we were supposed to have gotten already. So I'm glad that they decided to eventually bring it and that we get to see it. But I think you should still go, Mondo, on Monday or Tuesday, but just for the food. That way you can focus on just the entertainment on Wednesday.
I guess I could do that. I really want to watch the show. It's just the hype for me and Danny. We've known about that show for a long time, so it's like I just want to. I don't want to see it on the YouTube. I want to see it in person. Like as weird as it sounds, I just want to experience it in person. One of our Five Fire members. Frankie B. Knott's Berry Farm, the state. Let me read this real quick, Danny. The state of the park writes, will they ever run Accelerator again? No updates on Montezuma's yet. Log Ride's been down, seems like, for a while. What's going on with the cutbacks on entertainment? Will it come back? Oh my God. There's a lot of doom and gloom when it comes down to the attractions and the entertainment. I literally have heard nothing about Accelerator. As far as I know, Accelerator has been just on the back burner because of parts. That's been the rumor I've heard. When it comes down to the log ride, I don't know what's going on with the log ride. I have no clue. I have to say I have no clue. With entertainment, I have a feeling that Scary Farm not being as busy as like it normally is, I feel like it impacted the other seasons of the park. I don't know. It sucks. Every time I look at Knott's Berry Farm when it comes down to like an entertainment perspective, I always feel like that's where they shine. That's like the cool part. I could go get food and just enjoy the shows, enjoy the main stage show too, and stuff like that. Enjoy the music. They do lots of music stuff too, like at Boardwalk Barbecue, at the Firemen's Brigade, and those are gone now. So I don't know. Just go for the food because it's awesome so far. I know. I'll be there. Yeah. You know what? I'll go Monday if I can.
Yeah, I think you should. I think Jen's right. The Boysenberry Festival is all about the vibes, right? It's all about getting your food. Just like it's the quintessential time to be at Knott's, right? It's all about Boysenberry. It's about the history. It's they got the fair, the craft fair going on at the same time with all the different things. You got The ghost town's really alive, like with a lot of stuff that's happening. So I think just go for the food, even if the entertainment's not available. They still got the hillbillies though, the big entertainment acts people like to watch. You got character meet and greets. You've got like some of the people walking around in Ghost Town and stuff like that. So I think there's still a lot of value to it, and I can't wait to do it. It's just that on Friday it was rained out, like it closed at 3 p.m., and then um, on Saturday I had plans already to be at Disneyland
Yeah.
for prior, so I couldn't go on Saturday. And then I think even then it closed early on Saturday. I want to say, from what I
Yeah,
saw.
like 3 o'clock or something.
So I'm not sure exactly when it closed on Saturday, but I know it did close at 3
Oh
on
no,
Friday.
Friday was 3 o'clock, and then
Yeah,
Saturday. Yeah, I have no. Yeah, I don't know. I think it also closed early.
yeah.
Uh,
As far as Accelerator, I don't know. Like if it's gonna cause them this much of a problem in getting parts, like I think they should just get rid of the ride. Like in all
yeah.
honesty, it doesn't. It's not a very efficient ride. It's fun. It was a technological leap in roller coaster like technology when it first came out. Right, it was like one of the first of its kind. It was super unique to Knott's, but I feel like over the years, it's still fun. It still provides an excellent thrill. But if
Huge
it's this
fan base.
Yeah, but if it's this much of an issue, that's like heavily impacting not only like perception, right? Guest perception of things being closed, but it's like also, taking away capacity for the park. So
Yeah, I think Montezuma's Revenge is supposed to be a summer thing, so I'm pretty sure we're gonna start hearing stuff very soon.
yeah, I think
Right,
it's
Max?
not it's
Max
not
is like,
unnormal.
where is that ride? What'd you
I
say?
was gonna say, I don't think it's unnormal that we haven't heard anything from Montezuma's Revenge yet because that's coinciding with Fiesta Village, right? So like until Fiesta Village opens, like we wouldn't be hearing anything from Montezuma's Revenge just yet.
So I got a question from one of the Five Fire members, little Max over here. When is Toontown gonna get a new ride or Toontown? When is Camp Snoopy gonna get a new attraction? When is Snoopy gonna get a new attraction? He said this is BS. I've been alive for 2 months and I haven't got one update. Hey, no lie though, it would be nice to get something new in Camp Snoopy because that kid, it's already really amazing for kids, but I think they need to like double down more, bring more stuff there. Camp Snoopy, it's a highlight of Knott's Berry Farm. Uh, Darren with 19 months of membership. Let's go! Happy Sunday and thanks for all your good work. No, thank you. Freaking 19 months, man. 5 fires. Thank you for believing in me, Darren. Let's go, man. Thank you. Seriously. Appreciate you being a member. This is something new I just want to do. Maybe I could do it today. I don't know if I have time today. You know what? I'm gonna say it for next week, not today. Next week for all the Five Fire members, I want to do. Man, he is pissed that there's not a Camp Snoopy update. He's smiling. No, I want to do a 30-minute live stream after the speculation live stream, only for members. So it'd be a whole separate live stream, but only a members live stream. So I'll start doing that next week. Danny can participate if he has time or wants to, but it'll be for me for sure. So that'll be a members thing I want to start doing next week.
Yeah. Do you have I was like Billy Big Film Critic. Yeah, go ahead.
Vegas Film Critic with a super chat. I'm going to WonderCon in 2 weeks. Should I try my first berry festival at Knott?
Yeah.
I can't say yes enough, dude. I just want to throw it out there. Knott's Boysenberry Festival is right here compared to the Food and Wine. I have no shame in saying that. Like I already know the Knott's Boysenberry Festival has nothing but rave reviews from everybody that has done it.
We got almost 200 votes, Mondo, and 69% says no, 31% says yes.
Wow. So from our community, I guess you could say people are not excited. That's what that vote was. 69%, yeah. Not just so there's a 30. You know how Disney's gonna spin it up, but 30% want it, Danny. So we're gonna bring it. They want King Thanos. 30% people want it. It's the cup half full or half empty. Vegas film critic, hell yeah, go to Knott's Berry Boysenberry Festival, dude. You won't be let down. There's so many great options, and I'll be there soon enough, so you could check out my video and like the can't miss items. I've been on the scout of what is good because I want to use my tabs on Five Fire items. I really don't. I don't want to risk it for the biscuit on a bad item because these tabs are like $10, $10 a pop. So when you get something bad, that was a $10 mistake.
I know. But do you have any closing thoughts, Mondo?
Yeah, real quick. Somebody gifted memberships. Oh, Atlanta, hold on.
Oh, yeah, I see him here. Darnell Wright gifted Chelsea 22 a membership. And SoCal Imagine gifted Jen Arredondo a membership.
Jen Arredondo! Heck yeah. Next week, because we don't have time this week. Next week, after the Speculation Sunday, I'm going to do a members-only live stream. And just keep talking.
There we go.
Yeah, so I don't know what we'll talk about, but we could talk about anything. It'd be like an extended Speculation Sunday to just have fun with the members only.
Oh, Jay Saucedo calls him Baymax, BAE Max.
Yeah, that's what, dude. We call him Baymax too. Does that thing come off the wall or no?
I think you can take it off.
Yeah, let me see. Can you show everybody? Yeah, we're calling Max Baymax, like anything Baymax related. So somebody made this for us. I don't know the name right now off the top of my head, but yeah, little Maxie. We're just calling them Baymax. Oh man. Closing thoughts on everything. Very excited for where Disneyland's going. San Francisco is right around the corner. Tiana's Palace is literally around the corner as well. Toontown, I can't wait to finally walk the grounds and see what has changed. Can't wait to meet Mickey Mouse, Minnie Mouse, Donald, Goofy. They're going to go to their traditional meet and greets in Toontown. So that's going to be a lot of fun to see as well. And I can't wait to see Toontown at night because I feel like that's where the big game changer is. As Danny has talked about a lot of their night package. I'm going to call it their night package. It's going to be alive. It's going to be cool. For Knott's Berry Farm, I can't wait to just get boysenberried up. I will be there soon. And I definitely want to live stream the show. I don't want to do a long live stream because the internet is just hard at Knott's. But the live of the show, I want to live stream it. So stay tuned for that very soon. When it comes down to Universal, we didn't have a chance to go into it a lot, but they are busy. They're getting really busy. Busy to the point where like Toadstool Cafe, which is Super Nintendo World Restaurant, all reservations are gone by like 10:30, 11 a.m. And that goes into like 9 o'clock at night. So if you're trying to do anything Super Nintendo, I know it sounds ridiculous, but you better be there at park opening, or if you're able to, get that early entry because it actually goes a long way in experiencing Super Nintendo World. But we have a lot of Super Nintendo World coming next week. Super Next World, HHN updates, Toontown opening, Boysenberry. Sheesh! Next week's going to be a busy week for me. But I love it. I love when I'm busy.
Before we go, Mondo, are you going to be able to let them know? Are you doing the Bowser challenge?
Yeah. I can't say I'm going to eat it all, but I'm going to try it. Yeah, I hope I get to do it very soon. The weather permit. Pretty much, I was going to go yesterday to Universal, but I found out how busy it was, and the concept of Toadstool Cafe reservations are just gone. So even though I could show up at 11 a.m. doesn't mean I'm going to eat at the restaurant. Panda Express needs to go. I'm just gonna throw it out there. I don't know why that still exists. It should have just became all Super Nintendo World. It needs it. It's too busy. It's to have only one dining. It's the demand's insane. It's too successful. Closing thoughts, Danny. Let's fire it down.
Yeah, I'm excited for Super Nintendo World as well too. I want to go back. I want to try to get into Toadstool. I heard that you kind of basically, if you want to even eat at a decent time, you got to basically get there for the early entry. So like, pay that $20. But I'm gonna try that. I want to go back and do it again. So I'm looking forward to that. And I'm really looking forward to next weekend. I'm excited to see what Toontown looks like. Hopefully it doesn't get delayed again, so we can see all that is that changed in Mickey's Toontown and see it as a whole package. Ride the Roger Rabbit ride again, experience it all. So it'll be fun. I'm looking forward to it, and we'll have a lot to talk about. We'll probably end up doing like a speculation on a Tuesday, just as a pre-warning.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, if we're at Disneyland all day on Sunday, it's just not going to happen. So
probably Tuesdays. Speculation Tuesdays are pretty lit because Disney drops stuff on Tuesdays.
So. I know. So just expect that next weekend's probably speculation on a Tuesday.
Heck yeah. Danny, where can we follow you for your podcast and just give us your information so people can check it out?
Yeah. So you can follow me on my own YouTube channel, Just Ask Danny. I posted a new video yesterday, actually, on the latest updates so far, and some food and wine from when Mondo and I went. And then 5571 podcast. That's 5571 podcast. You can look that up. And it posts every Monday or Tuesday usually, but typically Monday.
Heck yeah. Thank you everybody for joining us on Speculation Sunday. See you guys real soon. And thank you seriously for just being so amazing. I love you guys. We are firing it down. The Cali Bay. And Just As Danny are calling it a day. I'm the main host, Mondo.